or good afternoon for those of you who are joining us from the West Coast. I'm Ellen Davis, and it's my privilege to serve as chair of the Sierra Club's National Awards Committee. There are 4 wonderful volunteers from across the country who serve with me on this committee. Tonight, we're going to be honoring about 30 Sierra Club volunteers, public officials, and others for their contributions to environmental protection and environmental justice. We hope you'll stay with us to celebrate all of our winners. If you need captioning for this presentation, there's an option on YouTube to turn on closed captions. Just look for the CC icon on the lower right of your screen. You can help us celebrate our award winners on social media using the hashtag Sierra Awards 2022. We have 2 very special people who are going to help us recognize our award winners tonight. The first is Ramon Cruz, who is the current president of the Sierra Club. The other is Lauren Blackford. Lauren is a former president of the Sierra Club and is currently serving as interim executive director of the club. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn the program over to Ramon.
Thanks, Ellen. Everybody can hear me well. Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be here in this special event with all of you joining us from all over the country. As Ellen said, I'm Ramon Cruz, and I'm the president of the Sierra Club. I use pronouns he, him, his, and I'm joining you today from the ancestral land of the Shawnee people, otherwise known as Pittsburgh. Where I'm speaking at a conference about clean energy development together with labor leaders from around the country and actually from around the world. So very excited to be here. As you know, it's a very exciting moment in our country in this area of work, that so many of you have fought for so long. And, if we were in person, I would ask you for a round of applause because it is quite remarkable what we have achieved together, and all the incentives that are for clean energy in the Inflation Reduction Act. So thank you very much for all your work. As some of you know, I'm originally from Boriquen, which is the Taino name for the island of Puerto Rico, a place that exactly 5 years ago was living through the horror and devastation of Hurricane Maria, only to have, last Sunday, a similar experience after Hurricane Fiona flooded the island. My thoughts are with our youngest chapter and our loved ones on the island at the moment that, it's at the epicenter of the climate crisis. Or the last chapter of the climate crisis. So please remember to donate to organizations doing work on the ground and helping with the recovery of the island. So, and sorry for, I've been speaking a lot today. So let's start with this award ceremony of this great organization that brings us together for the love of nature, the protection of the environment, and the safeguards of justice and democracy. And, this is an important year because, as we celebrate 130 years after John Muir founded our organization. And so we have come a long way. And in great parts, thanks to the people who are being recognized today in this ceremony, and that also all the people that have been recognized in the past. So thank you so much. And so with that, we would like to start our ceremony by presenting the Emerging Changemaker Award, which recognizes young Sierra Club volunteers who represent the next generation of environmental leaders. And so this award includes a $500 prize to further the work of the recipients. And this year's recipient is Angel Bradford from the Delta chapter in Louisiana. And As a young leader, Angel has not only had a major impact on local and federal climate legislation, but has also had transformative impact on the Sierra Club through her work with the Delta chapter and also national programs. She's a member of the Delta chapter executive committee and a team lead for the grassroots networking. She works on training, coaching, coalition building, local power building, and interfacing with major state decision makers. She's the leader of a clean and affordable statewide transit network initiative that plans to implement connectivity at the local level via biking, walking, electric buses, and passenger rail within each municipality. She also works on the National's Clean Transportation for All campaign, and her work in Louisiana is an excellent example of Angel's dedication to equity, climate solutions, and accessibility. And she carries that with her into her work on national campaigns as well. So Angel plans to use this $500 that comes with her award towards that chapter's public transit project. So thank you, Angel, for all your work and congratulations on this award. And now Lauren will tell us about our next award winner.
Thank you so much, Ramon. Yeah, Lauren Blackford, pronounced she, her. I am coming to you from New York City, the traditional lands of the Lenape people. And I'm just deeply honored to be with you all again, this time in the capacity of your interim executive director. And Ramon, excited to be hosting this event with you again. So we now have an award that comes with a $3,000 cash prize, and that it is now called the Chapter Strong Award. This award honors Sierra Club groups or chapters for outstanding work in building chapter strength and capacity. Winners should demonstrate commitment to ongoing equity education, just and inclusive collaboration, and the practice of equity values. This year, the award is going to the Maryland chapter. Under the leadership of Teresa Ball, the chapter formed a Growing for Change task force to develop programs of inclusion and equity. The task force has routinely provided educational seminars on equity topics such as the Jemez principles, justice and equity in legislation, and recognizing and addressing traditional models of privilege that stymie growth and inclusion. The virtual seminars are open to all Sierra Club members in Maryland, with particular encouragement to leaders to participate. The task force wants equity inclusion to be understood at all levels of the club and wants leaders to have the tools needed to promote and advance these principles. Because of Teresa's enthusiasm and passion, the chapter has placed increasing emphasis and focus on equity inclusion in all areas, from membership drives at the group level through the legislative work at the chapter level. The Maryland chapter is stronger and more inclusive because of her work. Teresa tells us that the $3,000 that comes with this award will be used for her chapter's equity inclusion initiatives. Teresa, congratulations to you and the Maryland chapter.
Great. So another award that comes with a cash prize is the Madeline Payette Outdoors for All Award, which honors Sierra Club volunteers who have worked proactively to make outings more accessible and more inclusive for people of all ages. This year's winner is Marivon Devensky. Marivon founded the Inspiring Connection Outdoors program for the Suwannee St. John's group in Florida in 2010, and she has been head of it ever since, except for a couple of years when she slacked off to become chair of the whole group. And there's more. Before moving to Gainesville, she was an ICO outing leader in another group in Florida for 10 years. For many years, Marivon has quietly managed the challenges of recruiting volunteers, training outing leaders, garnering fundraising efforts, and developing age-appropriate programming. Even a pandemic didn't slow her down. During COVID, she continued her work via Zoom with her volunteer leaders, and her team launched an Instagram campaign for outreach to younger audiences about the ICO program. Mary Vaughn is a kind and generous person whose ability to remain calm has helped her to be a great outings leader, as well as a great leader to her group at large. And she has touched the lives of countless children through her passionate work. Mary Vaughn will put the $500 that comes with this award into her ICO budget. So congratulations, Mary Vaughn.
Awesome. So we have one other outings-related award to present tonight. The Outings for Action Award honors Sierra Club volunteers who combine outings with education or advocacy work. This year's recipient is Rocky Milburn. Rocky is a treasured youth and adult outings leader in the Tampa Bay group of the Florida chapter. For 20 years, he has devoted countless volunteer hours to sharing his passion and knowledge of the natural world through hands-on introductions to hundreds of children and adults who might never have otherwise experienced the great outdoors. Of the youth, he says, kids who come face to face with the wilderness learn to love it, and then they learn to protect it. His adult outings are often combined with a land use or development issue. Rocky believes that taking adults out to look at the area that is being threatened is the best way to motivate them to advocate and to preserve it. Rocky is also a member of the Sierra Club's National Youth Leader Advisory Council and is a volunteer teacher at Academy Prep, an inner-city school for at-risk children. Rocky has received several awards from the Florida chapter, and we are delighted to recognize him as well. Congratulations, Rocky.
Good to see you here, Rocky. Next, we would like to present the Volunteer Achievement Award, which recognizes Sierra Club volunteers for a single act of particular importance to the environment or to our organization. And we have 3 recipients this year. The first recipient is Ramesh Bhatt from the Rocky Mountain chapter. Ramesh is the chapter's conservation committee chair and is being honored tonight for his efforts to get stronger regulations for the state's oil and gas industry. Most recently, he was a key to getting a bill drafted and passed that requires the industry to disclose all of the chemicals it uses in underground activities. He has also been instrumental in moving the state's industry governing agency from simply fostering oil and gas development to prioritizing protections for human health, wildlife, and biological resources and the environment over industry profit. Currently, he is the leading opposition to the Suncor refinery, which continues to burden disproportionately impacted communities with air pollution. To grow the activists necessary to take on these tasks, Ramesh has initiated regular chapter-wide conservation action training and the sessions that have coached speakers on possible ways to highlight equity concerns within their topics: oil and gas, chemical disclosure, wildlife protections, clean air, building electrifications, and transportation. So thanks and congratulations for this, Ramesh.
And the second Volunteer Achievement Award goes to a team of Andrea Collins and Zona Frankie from the Wisconsin chapter. Andrea and Zona recognized the activist work during the COVID pandemic required lots of extra thanking. I think we could all use lots of extra thanking in this moment. So they put together a full week for volunteer appreciation in 2020 and 2021. The special weeks were held in conjunction with the chapter's annual awards presentations and recognized the hundreds of volunteers who devoted their free time to helping the Sierra Club accomplish its environmental and justice goals in the midst of a shutdown. Andrea and Zona developed creative ways to honor volunteers through social media thank you campaigns that included personal thanks from fellow team members, chapter leaders, and staff from across the organization. The virtual awards ceremony included video testimonials of friends, fellow volunteers, and partners about the award winners. Throughout the week, the team coordinated appreciation messages to all the chapter volunteers, including a wide range of social media posts thanking all of the chapter's teams, groups, and committees. So we now thank you for all of your thanking others. We're pleased to recognize Andrea and Zona tonight.
All right. And our final Volunteer Achievement Award recipient is Katie Whitehead from the Virginia chapter. Katie has been a steadfast environmental justice advocate in Pittsylvania County for decades. She was involved in a successful 10-year effort to protect her community from uranium mining that went all the way to the Supreme Court. She's being recognized today for her work stopping a proposed new gas pipeline compressor station in her county. She mobilized her neighbors and guided the efforts of the NAACP, Sierra Club, and many other partners to lobby the Virginia Department of Environmental Quality to deny the draft air permit and hold hearings in the environmental justice community affected. This came about because of the coalition Katie mobilized. She has a keen eye for leadership development. She quickly recognized she couldn't do this fight alone. So she nurtured other leadership to emerge, encouraged others to write comments, and meet with their state and federal representatives, and never gave up. So thanks a lot, Katie, and congratulations.
Thank you. Next, we would like to recognize the recipients of the Volunteer Service Award, which honors Sierra Club members for strong and consistent commitment to the environment or our organization over an extended period of time. We have 5 very deserving recipients this year. As you can see, the first recipient is Ann Henney from the San Francisco Bay chapter. We are recognizing Ann tonight for her valuable work on Native American land rights and for incorporating the Jemez principles into the Sierra Club's wildlands work. Under her leadership, the California-Nevada Wilderness Committee became the organizing group for California's 30 by 30 campaign and established the state as a leader in the 30 by 30 movement. Her work included helping create an incredible network of liaisons with all 13 chapters in California and subgroups to work on specific issues. Ann's other major accomplishment has been her work on the rights of Indigenous people. She helped organize the Jemez Principles sub-team. That team's handbook, Applying the Jemez Principles for Democratic Organizing in Wildlands Protections, has defined how the Sierra Club incorporates Indigenous culture into its lands work. Ann is a powerful activist who has accomplished an immense quantity and quality of work for the Sierra Club. Congratulations, Ann.
All right, great. Our next Volunteer Service Award recipient is David Reed from the North Carolina chapter. David has been a longtime leader on forest issues for the North Carolina chapter, particularly on the Pisgah-Nantahala forest, Pisgah-Nantahala forest plan. He worked on the initial forest plan in the 1990s and is still around to work on the scheduled first revision of it. The forest plan revision is a decade-long process with hundreds of pages of documents to evaluate and long coalition meetings of diverse interests to decide what to fight for, what they can live with, and what is totally unacceptable. David's work includes enlisting national and chapter resources representing the clubs within coalitions and contributing insight into the implications of the proposed plan. David also served as the chair of the North Carolina chapter during the difficult COVID-19 years. And as soon as he stepped down from being chapter chair, he then volunteered to become the chapter treasurer. So for all of this, congratulations, David.
And our next Volunteer Service Award recipient is Anne Marie Salvador. We are honoring Anne tonight for her nearly 20 years of service to the Angeles Inspiring Connection Outdoors program in California. Since 2003, Anne has served the committee in various administrative roles through leading numerous outings and by her infectious enthusiasm. Her first job was secretary and newsletter editor, and she is currently the chair. One year, she initiated a holiday gift wrapping station at a local store. It has become an annual event that raises tens of thousands of dollars for the ICO program. As chair, Anne weathered the COVID years, While students were not able to attend class in person and all lessons were taught remotely, she initiated a program of virtual outings where teachers could sign their classes or clubs up for online nature presentations. She is a natural leader, an outstanding event organizer, and has an intuitive, nurturing side that allows her to work with all types of people. Anne received a Special Service Award from the Angeles chapter in 2009, and we are delighted to honor her here tonight. Congratulations, Anne.
Great, Anne. So our next volunteer service award recipient is Liz Wessel from the Wisconsin chapter. Liz has been a strong and consistent Sierra Club leader for 12 years. Her leadership has ranged from climate and environmental justice activism to organizational support. She's been involved in the Sierra Club at the national chapter and group levels as well. Her issue advocacy has centered around movement building, clean transportation, and increasing access to public lands. She served on the National Sierra Club Committee that organized large-scale movements like the People's Climate March, as well as several of the Wisconsin chapter's committees. When something needs to be done, big or small, Liz will do it. She has managed projects, planned events, facilitated meetings, led trainings, written articles, spoken at press events, created campaign strategy, entered data, tabled and collected petitions, and the list goes on and on. She understands that activism is active. Liz also knows how to support others and encourage growth and leadership. Liz uplifts the work of others and celebrates victories across the organization and the broader movement community. Liz received an award from the Wisconsin chapter in 2013, and we're delighted to honor her tonight. Congratulations, Liz.
Congratulations, Liz. And our final Volunteer Service Award recipient is Sean Worth from the Mother Lode chapter in California. Sean has been chair of his chapter's conservation committee since 2013. The diverse chapter covers all or parts of 23 counties in northeastern California, including the entire Sacramento River watershed, all of the Sacramento Valley, and the eastern slope of California's North Coast Range. Ecologically, it is a vast, complex area, and organizationally, Sean's job is equally complicated. The Conservation Committee has 28 members, representing all 11 groups in the chapter and some at-large positions. Throughout his tenure as conservation chair, Sean has led with skill, tact, and dedication. He applies excellent listening skills, a formidable memory, solid critical thinking and reasoning, a thoughtful, balanced perspective, and considerable patience to lead diverse points of view toward consensus. He is generous with his time and is widely respected by everyone, even those on the other side of the table. Sean was named the Mother Lode Chapter's Conservationist of the Year in 2014, and we are delighted to recognize him this year. Congratulations, Sean.
All right, great job, Sean. Next, we would like to recognize the recipients of the Atlas Award, which honors administrative contributions to groups and chapters that often take place behind the scenes, but that are critical to the functioning of our organization. We have two very deserving recipients this year, both of whom are from the Angeles chapter. The first is Joe Andrews. Joe became legal chair of the Angeles chapter in 2017, and in 2019, he added political compliance officer to his duties. Either job would be a full plate, but Joe handles them both with competence and grace. He has supported the Sierra Club in launching 2 lawsuits on behalf of the chapter, one to protect open space in the city of Calabasas, and the second to prevent construction of new gas-fired power turbines in Glendale. He also keeps track of and manages ongoing lawsuits across the chapter and advises it on multiple contracts. As compliance officer, he handles inquiries from more than 50 people who serve on the chapter's 2-part political committee as they seek advice navigating the many rules. He also reviews all chapters' newsletters and other endorsement-related communications. Colleagues say Joe always provides timely responses and is a delight to work with. Congratulations, Joe.
And the second Atlas Award recipient is Patty Sappingfield. Patty has been an active and valuable volunteer in the Sierra Sage of South Orange County group for more than 2 decades. She has constantly stepped in to do what needs to be done in her group, and her many and varied roles have touched on all aspects of the group's governance. In 2021, she finished up some 21 years as treasurer, trained her replacement, and still serves as assistant treasurer. She has also served as membership chair, has co-led many hikes and fundraising outings, and has coordinated numerous annual group events, including a chili cook-off, that sounds like fun, a new member meeting, and a fundraising barbecue. In addition, she arranges locations, gets volunteer greeters, and secures snacks for the group's monthly general meetings. And on top of all that, she's found time to distribute the group newsletter. Patty has received several awards from the Angeles chapter, and we are delighted to recognize her tonight. Congratulations, Patty.
Great job, Patty. Oh, sorry. All right, great job, Patty. So up next is our Environmental Alliance Award, which recognizes Sierra Club members who have helped further environmental goals through collaboration with other non-Sierra Club constituencies. This year's recipients are Karen Camplin and Douglas Stewart. Karen and Doug are co-chairs of the Virginia chapter's Transportation and Smart Growth Committee. They are being recognized for their success in working with a wide variety of other organizations and coalitions to further the committee's goals. Their work has brought together people from diverse groups across the Commonwealth to work on solutions and has helped conservation organizations to coordinate their responses and focus their recommendations so they will have the greatest impact. The committee convenes and leads monthly calls where transportation and smart growth issues, including General Assembly legislative efforts, are discussed for the benefit of other volunteer advocates. In addition, the group hosts discussions with multiple groups to highlight opportunities to provide input to the many government agencies that prepare complicated transportation plans. Building alliances with other organizations to achieve our goal is an important part of the Sierra Club's work, and we congratulate both of you for your efforts and for receiving this award. Thank you.
Congratulations, Karen and Douglas. Next, we would like to recognize the recipient of the 2022 Rachel Carson Award, which honors sustained achievement by professional journalists or authors. This year's recipient is Craig Pittman. Craig is a Florida native and award-winning environmental reporter and book author. His career began on his university's student newspaper, included 22 years at the Tampa Bay Times, and continues today as a columnist for Florida Phoenix, a nonprofit online news organization covering state government and politics. Craig has covered a myriad of events affecting the state and authored investigative reports on a wide array of topics, including the Florida panther, manatees, hurricanes, offshore drilling, wetlands, water wars, Everglades restoration, and climate change. His books include Paving Paradise, Florida's Vanishing Wetlands and the Failure of No Net Loss in 2009, Manatee Insanity, Inside the War Over Florida's Most Famous Endangered Species in 2010, The Scent of Scandal, Greed, Betrayal, and the World's Most Beautiful Orchid in 2012, Oh, Florida, How America's Weirdest State Influences the Rest of the Country in 2016. That one, it sounds like a must read. And Cattail, the wild, weird battle to save the Florida panther in 2020. His most recent book is The State You're In, Florida Men, Florida Women, and Other Wildlife. Congratulations, Craig, and I look forward to reading some of your books.
All right. It's great. So we are also given an award that honors excellence in conservation photography that is called appropriately the Ansel Adams Award. The 2022 recipient of this award is QT Luong. Back in 1993, as a newcomer to America, QT Luong, or Tuan, as his friends like to call him, says that viewing the prints of Ansel Adams in person was one of the factors that set him on his course to photograph the national parks and other public lands. He subsequently studied the work of past Ansel Adams winners, such as Galen Rowell, Robert Glenn Ketchum, William Neal, Franz Lanting, Ton Mangelsen, and James Balog. Today, Mr. Luong has two spectacular photo books to his credit. His 2019 book, Treasured Lands, A Photographic Odyssey Through America's National Parks, is the most complete photography book about all the 63 U.S. national parks. This book, which is now in its 7th printing, has won 12 national and international awards and was featured in the film The National Parks, America's Best Idea. His 2021 book, Our National Monuments, America's Hidden Gems, is the most beautiful and persuasive statement ever for the protection of our national monuments, many of which has been recently threatened. Mr. Luong says he hopes his photographs can inspire younger generations the same way that the photographs of previous Ansel Adams Award winners inspired him. We appreciate QT letting us use one of his photos on this year's invitation and during this slideshow that I hope all of you have appreciated and enjoyed. So thank you and congratulations, QT.
My goodness, what stunning photographs. Thank you. We also have an Ansel Adams Award that honors people working in the medium of film. This year's recipient of the Ansel Adams Award for Video is Dane Myers. Myers' powerful rapumentary called Clouds of Different Colors has become a valuable tool for citizen activists fighting unnecessary sugarcane burning harmful to communities in South Florida. The activist musician worked for a year on the project, visiting the area and collaborating with leaders of the Stop the Burn, Go Green campaign, a grassroots environmental justice campaign to replace pre-harvest sugar field burning with modern, sustainable, burn-free green harvesting. While discriminatory burn regulations ensure that coastal communities are spared when the wind blows their way, residents of the predominantly lower income communities of color inland remain unprotected from the smoke and ash. Since the video's debut earlier this year, it has been catalyst for increased and expanded activism, including resolutions by the Palm Beach County Democratic Executive Committee and the Democratic Environmental Caucus of Florida, calling for a swift transition to green harvesting. Myers' Clouds of Different Colors is a wonderful example of how music, film, art, poetry, and frontline testimonials can combine to inspire people to take action. We'd now like to show you a short clip from this unique video. Congratulations, Dane.
Front door of my home, but this is the normal Saturday morning, and this will continue on throughout the day.
Windows have to stay closed. The blinds are supposed to be closed also, even when they're not burning. But this teacher, she was like the cool teacher. So she would like open them sometimes, have light come in, make it like fun for us. Usually we just see smoke. Yeah. We don't really see the flames. But they were like so close to the school where like when you're looking out a window and you're like such a young person, you're thinking we're about to burn up. Some people had like started having panic attacks. They were like, oh my gosh, I call my mom, I want to go home. When we go on field trips, there's like the gallon Ziploc bags, full, 4, 5, 6 of them, inhalers, really? Medications.
Do all the kids have asthma?
Yeah, it's like 5, 6 bags of those things that you just pack like filled, like big, like you can't put any more in there.
Woke up in this city where clouds are different colors and teachers board up the shutters so students can't see the flood and the flames outside the window. The snakes running for cover. This playground is an oven, it's covered in the Orwellian. 2 billionaire brothers got Profits deep in my governor's pockets and couldn't stop it. Just blind eye sockets turned by my government. We subsidize this suffering. Darker than black ash, black students are covered
In my backyard, we have the train system that carries the cane from one place to another. We also have sugar cane in my backyard. And as you see by my hair blowing right now, that the wind is blowing. So if they burn today, everyone that's live right here, it will be affected by the burn of the sugar cane in my backyard.
Well, that was amazing. Thanks so much, Dane, for your work. It was great meeting you last year in Florida, and keep up this work because it's not only amazing but also very necessary. So we appreciate you very much. So next, we would like to recognize the winner of one of our international awards. The Earthcare Award honors an individual, organization, or agency that has made a unique contribution to international environmental protection and conservation. This year's Earthcare Award recipient is Earthworks, a nonprofit organization working to protect communities and the environment from the negative impacts of mining and fossil fuel extraction. Its work has covered 35 states and 34 countries. Earthworks was formed in 2005 with the merger of two proven champions in the field. One was the Mineral Policy Center, which helped defend Yellowstone National Park and Argentina's pristine Patagonia region from the proposed mineral mining. The other was the Oil and Gas Accountability Project, which was founded to protect rural, tribal, and urban communities from the devastating impacts of oil and gas development and achieve the first ever governmental requirements for disclosure of gas drilling chemicals in Colorado. One of Earthworks' unique contribution is the use of expensive optical gas imaging cameras to document greenhouse gas such as methane that can't be seen by the naked eye, resulting in investigations, enforcement actions, and fines against facilities in Oklahoma and Texas. Earthworks' expertise on hydraulic fracturing or fracking provided valuable insights for the Sierra Club when the club was developing its first policies on the environmental impacts of fracking around 2010. So thank you so much for this work, Earthworks. And thanks for joining us tonight.
Wonderful, thank you. So now we would like to honor the recipient of the 2022 William O. Douglas Award, which recognizes individuals who have made an outstanding use of the legal system to achieve environmental goals. It's my great honor to now honor Colette Pichon-Battle, who is a native of Bayou Liberty, Louisiana. As founder and co-executive director of the Gulf Coast Center for Law and Policy, she develops programming focused on equitable disaster recovery, global migration, community economic development, climate justice, and energy democracy. Colette worked with local communities, national funders, and elected officials in the post-Katrina and post-Deepwater Horizon disaster recoveries. In addition to developing advocacy initiatives that intersect with race, systems of power, and ecology, Colette directs the Law Center's legal services in immigration and disaster law. Her work has been recognized widely. In 2016, she was named a White House Champion of Change for Climate Equity, and in 2018, Kenyon College awarded her an honorary doctorate. In 2019, Colette was named an Obama Fellow for her work with Black and Native communities on the front line of climate change, and she gave a TED Talk, "Climate Change Will Displace Millions. Here's How We Prepare." In 2021, Colette was appointed a Margaret Burroughs Community Fellow, a fellowship designed to bring community leaders together to discuss, debate, and study the history and theories surrounding transformative justice and the process of creating a just transition strategy for change. Most recently, Colette has transitioned her organization to become a new organization called Taproot Earth, which is dedicated to building a global movement to advance climate justice. Congratulations, Colette.
Thanks so much, Colette. So next, we would like to recognize the recipient of the Robert Bullard Environmental Justice Award, which honors individuals or groups that have done outstanding work in the area of environmental justice, either at the local or national level. Dr. Colby Wilson is an associate professor with the Maryland Institute for Applied Environmental Health and Department of Epidemiology and Biostatistics in the University of Maryland, College Park School of Public Health. His research meets the road approach to environmental justice, puts community engagement first, meaning that he forms and maintains long-term partnership with community-based organizations as core research partners. These partnerships translate research into action. As director of the Community Engagement, Environmental Justice, and Health Laboratory, he works closely with communities in Washington, in the Washington, D.C. region and beyond on environmental health and justice issues. Dr. Wilson has also worked tirelessly to build environmental justice organizations and coalitions. He's co-founder of the DMV Environmental Justice Coalition, covering DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and founder of 17 for Peace and Justice, an environmental justice advocacy organization. He even has his own podcast on NPR titled My Block Counts that addresses environmental justice issues. I can think of no one who is more deserving of this award than Professor Wilson, said by the own Dr. Robert Bullard, for whom this award is named. And if you haven't seen the New York Times article last weekend on Dr. Bullard, you should look for it. Dr. Bullard has known and mentored Dr. Wilson over the decades and says he is a great choice for this award. He's an exceptional environmental justice scholar. His cutting-edge research to action and citizen science work has been deployed to assist numerous frontline communities fight environmental racism and advance health equity, said Dr. Bullard. Congratulations, Dr. Wilson, for this award.
Yes, deep congratulations, Dr. Wilson. So folks, up next, we would like to present some of our awards that go to elected officials or other persons in public service. The Environmental Service Award honors persons in public service for a strong commitment to the environment and/or environmental justice over a considerable period of time. We have 3 outstanding recipients this year from across the country. Our first recipient is Mary Che, who is a council member in the District of Columbia. For the past 16 years, Councilmember Che has proven to be a stalwart environmental ally, champion, and visionary. As the longtime chair of the Transportation Environment Committee, she has spearheaded some of the most progressive environmental legislation in the country, measures that have served as models for other municipalities and states. She has enacted legislation that has limited greenhouse gas emissions, increased use of renewable energy, reduced pesticide use, and established 100 miles of that is, of bike lanes across the district's 68 square mile area. She has also been a vocal advocate for conversion of the district's vehicle fleet to electric power. Yes. Improved water quality in the district's rivers, streams, and potable water systems, removal of lead water pipes, control of light pollution and energy use by streetlights, and residential and commercial composting. Councilmember Che announced earlier this year that she will not be running for re-election in November. She will be sorely missed. Congratulations, Mary.
Thank you so much for your service. And our next Environmental Service Award recipient is Beam Fur, a member of the Broward County Commission in Florida. An elected official, Commissioner Fur, stands out from the crowd because he's a long-term planner and thinker. He doesn't go for the flashy short-term attention-getting projects. He works for the future, a healthy environment, public transportation, developing policies that promote the reduction of carbon emissions, increasing clean energy options, and the well-being of the next generation. He has always focused on environmental issues, early childhood education, transportation, housing, economic opportunity, and the arts. A notable environmental accomplishment in his establishment of the Resilience Dashboard. Is his establishment of the Resilience Dashboard, which is an online tool that represents a shared approach for a changing climate. This is a story map to illustrate approaches Broward County and its municipalities can take to mitigate climate change and strengthen the resilience of the community to its impacts. He has also sponsored a successful move to restrict the distribution, sale, and use of expanded polystyrene foam items and single-use plastic straws and stirrers on county properties, including parks, airport terminals, and cruise ship terminals. Congratulations, Commissioner Furr.
Congratulations, Commissioner. So our final Environmental Service Award recipient is Sam Rasool, who is a member of the Virginia House of Delegates. Delegate Rasool has been a years-long champion of environmental and social justice, and through his community-rooted work has strengthened the fight for a clean and equitable energy future for all Virginians. As a representative for the 11th District, Roanoke City, which is near where my grandmother lived, since 2014, he has been a leader in the fight against Mountain Valley Pipeline, which impacts his district, and has also been a vocal advocate for a just transition for workers within the fossil fuel industry. From introducing impactful legislation, direct engagement with regulatory agencies, and championing the fight against the pipeline, Delegate Rasool has fought fiercely to safeguard the communities he represents and emphasized the need to bring fossil fuel workers into a clean energy jobs future. Delegate Rasool is not afraid to lead on difficult issues and represents a bold vision for Virginia's people, places, and environment. His leadership and advocacy have strengthened both the state and national work for environmental justice. Congratulations, Delegate Rasool, and thank you for all your great work.
Great. Congratulations. So our top award for the public officials is the Edgar Wayburn Environmental Champion Award. This year's recipient is Congressman Stephen Cohen from Tennessee. Representative Cohen has always been extremely helpful, responsive, and supportive on his impeccable progressive and environmental record since being elected to Congress in 2006. And since then, all of this record includes supporting the Build Back Better bill, endorsing tribal management of the National Bison Range, addressing PFAS contamination, and halting drilling in the Arctic. In addition, he has championed environmental justice provisions in drinking water protections, supported Great Lakes restoration, strengthened air toxic standards, pushed for phasing out harmful fishing gear, and protected the Grand Canyon from uranium mining. What a champion. Representative Cohen also backed the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act and recently introduced a bill to evaluate lynching sites within 100 miles of Memphis for potential inclusion in the national park system. Representative Cohen is a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee and the Natural Resources Committee, both of which oversee a wide range of matters where the environment and the environmental justice intersect. Closer to home, he continues to work with Sierra Club and its partners to get the Tennessee Valley Authority to adopt clean energy in line with President Biden's climate goals. He also continues to advocate for safe coal ash cleanup and disposal across the state and supports the efforts to end surface coal mining and start a just economic transition in East Tennessee. And now we have a message from Representative Cohen.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the Sierra Club for presenting me with the prestigious Edgar Wayburn Environmental Champion Award. It's indeed an honor to be recognized by the Sierra Club, the preeminent organization looking out for our Earth and its protection, the environment, and particularly for an award named for such a champion of the environment and hero of Sierra Club as Mr. Wayburn was. Appreciate the Memphis chapter of the Sierra Club for its involvement and working with them over the years, the Rita Harrison Company. Throughout my career, I fought to protect and conserve our environment, knowing that the job of all of us is to turn the earth over to the next generation in better shape than we received it. I've worked with local and national leaders here in Memphis to oppose the extension of the Payette pipeline. This was a pipeline that stretched about 49 miles throughout, mostly in Memphis, but not entirely. And in Memphis through minority neighborhoods, which is the convenient thing to do. And their lobbyist was so arrogant as to say we did it because it was the least difficult route for them to take. And he didn't mean it physically, he meant it politically, I believe. But that really inflamed authorities. Justin Pearson, a local activist, got people involved, including Al Gore and Reverend Barber and the Sierra Club and a group here in Memphis called Protect Our Aquifer. And then I was involved, and my city councilman, Jeff Warren, was involved. And through all the different people involved, kind of like Robert Kennedy said in his speech at Cape Town, South Africa back in the 60s, when you do things to work against oppression or against harmful activities, all those little rivulets of speech and active activities can come together, rippling downstream in a mighty ocean of waters and wipe down the mightiest forms of oppression, walls of oppression. And that's what happened here. A lot of different voices came together and overcame Payette pipeline. But our local leaders like Kathy Robinson and Justin Pearson and the others I've mentioned, including Jeff Warren, did a great job in helping to beat big oil and beat the Payette pipeline here in Memphis. That was a big deal locally, and it shows what can be done locally to help the big time environmental programs. I appreciate what the Sierra Club does and what all your members have done for years. It's kind of sometimes unrewarded, but it's the most, I think, satisfying thing you can do to protect the earth. Mother Earth needs all of its friends. The Sierra Club's its best friend. And I appreciate you giving me this award. Thank you for your advocacy and the honor of putting my name next to Edgar Wayburn's. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Congressmember Cohen. Thanks for all your great work, and I wish there would be many more Congress members like you. We need more like you. So thanks so much.
Thank you. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, our highest award for volunteers is the William Colby Volunteer Leadership Award, which honors leadership, dedication, and service to the Sierra Club, particularly in the areas of administration. And it is my tremendous honor to announce that this year's recipient is our very own Verena Owen of the Illinois chapter. Verena is being recognized for her incredibly valuable role as one of the two principal founders of the Sierra Club's Beyond Coal campaign. This is one of the most successful national campaigns ever in Sierra Club history, and from the very beginning, Verena has been a superb hands-on leader and inspiration for it. During Verena's leadership, the scope of the campaign has grown from boldly opposing 200 proposed new coal plants to setting the audacious goal of cleaning up the U.S. grid by 2030 by closing all the existing coal plants, opposing fossil gas plants, and advocating for wind and solar and other clean energy. It has always strived to end the damage of coal ash, haze, mercury, and toxic air pollutants to communities across the country, and is now also advocating for a clean grid that serves everyone with equity and justice. In addition to Verena's tireless and effective work supporting the Beyond Coal campaign, she helped organize and for many years has coordinated a monthly call of volunteer co-leads for Sierra Club campaigns and national programs. This has been a critical way for many of Sierra Club's most experienced and engaged volunteer leaders to share insights and perspectives on national issues and mentor new co-leads. Verena received our Volunteer Achievement Award in 2009, and we're very pleased to present her with the Colby Award this year. Congratulations, Verena. And then, moving on finally tonight, we would like to present our highest award, the Sierra Club Changemaker of the Year Award. This award honors individuals with a legacy of achievement in protecting the environment and working for environmental justice. This year's recipient is Winona LaDuke, And on a personal note, when I was Sierra Club president, I had the incredible honor of getting arrested, well, actually detained in Bemidji, Minnesota, with Winona as Sierra Club's third act of civil disobedience. She has been an incredible water protector, and it was really tremendous to get to work with her on that. But she's so much more as well. Winona is an internationally renowned Native American activist working on issues of sustainable development, renewable energy, and food systems. She lives and works on the White Earth Reservation in northern Minnesota and is a two-time vice presidential candidate with Ralph Nader for the Green Party. As program director of Honor the Earth, she works nationally and internationally on the issues of climate change, renewable energy, and environmental justice with Indigenous communities. Honor the Earth and Winona recently hosted a massive star-studded Water is Life festival at Bayfront Park in Duluth, Minnesota. She is the founder of the White Earth Land Recovery Project, one of the largest reservation-based nonprofit organizations in the country. The project has won many awards, including the prestigious International Slow Food Award for Biodiversity, recognizing its work to protect wild rice from patenting and genetic engineering. A graduate of Harvard and Antioch University, she has written extensively on Native American environmental issues. She is a former board member of Greenpeace USA and is presently an advisory board member for the Trust for Public Lands Native Lands Program. The author of 7 books, including Recovering the Sacred, All Our Relations, and her most recent book, To Be a Water Protector. She is widely recognized for work on environmental and human rights issues. Congratulations, Winona.
Congratulations, Winona. Thanks for all your inspiration. And I would like to thank not only Winona, but all the recipients of the awards today. Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight to celebrate the work of all these amazing winners. And also, before we end our celebration, I would like to recognize the members of our Honors and Awards Committee who put together this program, along with some members of our national staff. In addition to Ellen, who you heard from earlier, our awards committee includes Lane Boldman, Ron Haynes, Sue Merrow, and Barb Williams. And it's amazing how much they work all year round to make this possible. And, as you know, this work is what makes Sierra Club. So thanks so much to the awards committee for this. In addition to that, staff members who assisted with this awards program this year, and, includes a lot of work that is behind the scenes to put this together and to review all the nominations, etc., and for putting also the technical part of this program. So thanks so much to Bharat Kusuma, Megan Muley, Leslie Ryder, and Sarah Sani. And I would also like to thank our managing director, Eva Hernandez Simmons, and also Dan Chu, who was acting executive director until recently this month, and that went back full-time to the Sierra Club Foundation, but they also helped greatly with tonight's program. So remember, if you know someone that we should be honoring next year, please be sure to go to the club's website to nominate them by June 1st next year. And with that, I would also like to thank my co-master of ceremonies, Lauren, and also for accepting, the responsibility and the great joy of being interim executive director for the next few months until we get a permanent executive director. I can tell everyone, look forward before the end of the year, we'll be announcing that position. And so with that, again, nominations before June 1st next year. And so we'll see you again next year. Thanks so much and have a good night. Buenas noches.
Thank you, Ramon. Thank you, everyone.